Let's start from early age, probably about 10 years old. Encountering this entity, it really changed my family dynamics 180, 360 for many years to come. I slept in between my parents at a given point of time. I was woken up by something was readily skimming through my skin on my face, my cheeks rather. Because I was sleeping, if I recall correctly, I was sleeping on the right side of the bed beside my father. So I turned and looked. It was what I could describe or rather recall it. It was a headless person without any blood or anything, just that a suit, in black suit. It was a couple of seconds of silence, then followed by he pointing at my father. And he said that she's next. Shortly after that, I think so about 2-3 months later, my father passed away. So I didn't tell anybody about that situation and whatnot. Because kids, you don't know, sometimes your parents say you are just imagining things and whatnot. That was the one thing that really struck my world and saying that we are not alone.
I really don't feel good. I'm getting a vibe.
Is anyone here? What did you find?
You are listening to Supernatural Confessions.
On the night before my father passed away, because he was doing his pilgrimage. I and my brother was in Singapore, my mom and my dad was doing his pilgrimage. Had a so-called dream, I would say, that my father came and hugged me and then waved goodbye. Then after which I woke up and then minutes later my mom called my auntie, which I was staying at that house at the point of time, saying that they have some bearer of bad news. Recently, or the most recent encounter that I had after a long time span was during work. When I started to work with this government organization, I was working as a trainee. So probably along the way, you might probably catch which organization I'm working for. So I was a trainee. So we have to dispatch and whatnot, and you have a certain time frame to exit the location or of your base operations and whatnot. So being at night, I don't like to sleep away from them because I'm a dead sleeper, heavy sleeper. So sometimes I have that fear that I can't be able to wake up for that dispatch assigned case or whatnot. I remember this vividly because it was my mentor said to me that try not to sleep inside the appliance, especially during this Hungry Ghost Festival, if I'm not mistaken. But you know me, I just say nothing lah. So I slept on this, I would say, platform. This platform is commonly used to transport person the place A to place B, so on and so forth. So this platform that you have here, it's theoretically people have died on it, people have survived on it. So try to visualize it as the back door is facing my direction, right? And the drivers are opposite me, which is facing the front, my back is facing them. So
let's say if you're lying down, the leg is facing the door, the head is facing the drivers.
Yeah, correct. So, but between there, there's a seat for anyone to, any of the personnel or assisting personnel to sit and whatnot. Given that circumstances, I think it was about close to 3. I felt that it was really, really cold. Again, we didn't on the fan or anything inside this appliance itself. So the windows are slightly turned down, so wind can come in. Felt really chilly. Again, I was wearing my hoodie to sleep. And then I'll be like, okay, I feel like going to the toilet anyways. So I sat up. So sitting up, imagine my legs are this is my legs, I'm sitting up like this. So I'm facing up. When that was happening, I just realized that, did I see something behind me? It didn't register to me because sometimes you wake up a bit groggy and whatnot. Yeah. So you would say, I want to go to the toilet, I don't care about what's happening. So I felt like the room, the air within this space was not usual. You can feel the heaviness, the uneasiness around this area itself. And I wasn't like, okay, something's amiss. The things happening around me wasn't making sense to me at a given point of time. Only minutes later it did happen. So I was like, okay, I think I saw something right there. I was like trying to recall what my mentor said, that whenever you try to turn your body, you will turn in a certain direction or in pathway so that the light or whatnot doesn't affect you. I can't remember for sure. So I rather not turn my head and just exit through the rear door. So
are you talking about your mentor told you that a human being has 3 candles?
Yeah, correct, something like that.
So if you turn your head, you knock the candle out, then the light will diminish and then hantu will come and find you.
Something like that. Okay. So again, I don't know whether they take it seriously or not.
But you just didn't turn around?
Yeah, I didn't turn around. I feel like, should I turn around? Sometimes people say things to me, I'll be like, okay, you don't say don't turn around, I'll be like, okay, I'll do that. So this point of time, my head was like saying, don't turn. So something is not right. So it felt like, okay, something's not right. The air is getting colder by the moment. The uneasiness, I'm getting very unsettled. So I wanted to turn to the right side to exit to the main door, but then my gut says that since you're just there, just go straight, because the door is just swinging door. So I decided to do that. But then again, the doors, when you open, you have to close the door back. I had to turn around, right? So I had to, right? So what I saw was something which I would never want to see or never want to encounter, which is like Ponchong, which is sitting there looking at me. So imagine that if I was sleeping, she was probably doing this to me. So given the circumstances, I was thinking that, so I was like, shit, close the door, I run. I was like, anywhere but run. Then I was like thinking, running away is not going to do anything, right? This entity can probably jump his way in front of me and whatnot. So I just close my eyes and just sit down facing the floor. That's the best option that I can do. Because again, I was this area was an open area lah. So
you turn around, you open the door, you saw the pochong, just to recollect, right?
yeah, so everything
You were
like
lying down and your feet was facing the door,
Exit,
the swinging door.
yeah.
Behind you, at where the head is, there is a seat.
yeah.
Right,
So
dividing between the driver area and you.
Correct.
So the pochong, when you turn around and you close the door, you saw that there was a pochong.
exactly.
At that seat
Okay.
where the head is.
So imagine this is the head. This is the seat, probably a few centimeters back.
Yeah.
And the thing was standing, and probably in my head, this guy was doing that while I was sleeping. Probably the good things that I did not open my eyes and see is like in my face. I would probably like feel myself and be like, oh, god damn this.
So when you close the door, you went kencing lah, you went to pee and all.
No, I like didn't think. I just slammed the door. I just run any direction that I think is the most viable option to go, which was towards the back, or rather to open car park lah. So just ran there and just, why am I in the open area? It's like 3 a.m. like in the open area. People like looking, what is this guy doing in the middle of the, this car park? So it's like, you know what? I'm just gonna act nothing happened. Just gonna sit down and find a. Subsequently, a few days later, we went for a incident, or rather a case that was given to us or dispatched to us. But when we arrived at this location, somewhere probably near Guillemard Road and Geylang, this area was well known to be an area where you wouldn't want to walk alone or wouldn't want to be when the lights go dim, because you may see something, things may follow you. That's what people say lah. But then, with about 5 to 10 minutes, you couldn't find the person, or rather this person, or rather this incident or whatnot. We went to the ambulance itself. There is like a panels you can see window panels at the side and front. There is, you can so-called see through, it's translucent, but there is always a light because of the bars or the KTV. So it's very clear cut. If you were to see someone walking towards this appliance itself that we are in, you will see a silhouette of it. So initially we see like, okay, we see a silhouette. 3 of us were in this back of this appliance, we're just talking and having our dinner. What's the dinner? Probably supper. You see the silhouette coming towards the back of this appliance, at which is stopped. You can see an outline of this shadow, and this outline of shadow was just gazing through, but you just don't know what is it, because it's quite, inside is bright, outside is dark, and again you cannot see a figure unless you open the door. Then after which, a few seconds later, just turn to the right side of this appliance and to the main door that we can enter. You see the silhouette come through, and then the person is really at the handle of the door, and you can hear someone knocking. So I was facing the opposite direction, or I'm facing the door. My senior, or rather, was sitting beside the door, and the other access personnel was at the so-called platform, the head there lah. We heard. So the first thing my senior said, "Do you hear that knock?" I said, "Yeah, I hear." So would you want to open up, because probably this is the person that you're looking for or whatnot? Then she was saying that, "Nah, I don't think so. This is just off in a way that, who does that? Who would walk towards this appliance, to the back of the appliance, stare, but you can actually open the back of the door. There's a doorknob there, but then you decide to go to the front. And this vehicle is stationary. Makes no sense." We were like contemplating whether the opening, because the silhouette is still there. Again, we hear another knock 3 seconds later. So my senior decided to just open the window panel. You try to imagine that the silhouette is there. Then you open the window panel, there is nothing there. And you close back, the silhouette isn't there. the silhouette was directly at the middle of the window. So if I were to open up, even if he were to turn left or turn right, you can see the silhouette itself. But it's just front stairs to nothingness.
And all three of you saw it?
Yeah, all three of
All
us.
three of you heard a knock?
Yes. So when we went back to our base of whatnot after the incident and whatnot, so we try to make sense of things. Then sometimes things doesn't make sense. So what you can do is just assume or go into a hypothesis and whatnot. So we couldn't sleep. That was probably around 3 and 4 a.m. So the three of us like brainstorming to find a cause of it. Could we have heard it wrong? Could we have seen it wrong or whatnot? But it seems otherwise lah. Because again, if 3 persons says the same thing, then okay, if 1 person says something, the other 2 say no, then probably that's debatable. But this is the 3 of us, close proximity, hear the same thing, saw the same thing, then it's just, this cannot be right. So the personnel who's coming from the day shift itself, we hand over to them and said, then he was saying, what you guys pondering, what you guys pondering about? Then we said that, okay, this is what happened, so on and so forth. So I said, you encountered something. Then I was like, your face tells me that to you this is normal. Then you said, probably. This is probably, if I were to give a scale 1 to 10, probably this is number 1. I was like, if that is number 1, I wouldn't want to know what's number 5 or number 10. Then I'll be probably shitting my balls. I'll be like, Then he said, 10 is when you hear the boy that you're first to find is crying underneath the toilet sink and he says to you something, just bend over, look at you in the face. That is a 10.
I really don't feel good. We're getting a...
Is anyone here? What did you find?
You are listening to Supernatural Confessions.